Before Peabody could even stand, the world had already given up on him. I got a call from a lady, and she said, "Oh my goodness, my mare just had a baby, and it's so small, it can't even reach its mother, and it's a dwarf." And she said, "So we're going to put him down." I said, "No, don't do that." So I drove across country, and I went and got him, and I brought him home.
Pea's not feeling very good today.
Got him at 3 days old. He was on the ground, and he couldn't get up because he had no muscle tone. And I started feeding him the milk out of a bowl because he couldn't seem to latch on with his jaw that wasn't aligned very well. And he couldn't walk because his legs were crooked and his bite was off. And he was just too small to live outside.
So we just had little P, had the farrier come, and we did his little feet for the first time.
My eyes were on him 24 hours a day. If he sneezed, I'm there to see what's happening. If he was cold, I would have put a blanket on him. Then I looked at this tiny little horse that couldn't walk, and I knew I had to come up with a plan in order to help him. And then I had some shoes made for him, and he looked at me and he thought, "Did I die and go to heaven?" That was an extra wide shoe, so he couldn't lean to the right or lean to the left or lean backwards. It made him stand up straight.
Mom, tell me not to do that.
And then the next thing you know, his little legs are straight and he's running down the wood floor, making all kinds of noise. He chose to run everywhere he went.
P, you feel like the big boy.
He followed me everywhere I went because he thought I was his mother. And so when I picked him up and started to give him food, he just looked at me and thought, "That's my mom." And that was it. But he was too small for the other horses. If you walked by him and brushed him, he'd fall over. And he didn't want to go outside.
Good morning, little man. You ready for breakfast?
I took him out one time and I put him in the barn. He looked at me like, "What are you leaving me here for?" And he followed me all the way back up to the house. He said, "I'm not staying down there." So that was it. He was our house horse. To have a horse living in your house is, it's like, I think to myself, how did we ever live without it? But the next thing you know, he took over the world.
Hey, breakfast.
He was a dwarf, and yes, he was a little boy, but he was going to be a stallion. And the stallions have a mentality that I'm the big boss wherever I go, no matter how little they are. He was allowed to do anything he wanted. He was so special. I mean, if this little guy could talk and say, "Can I have your credit card, Mom?" I say, "Sure, you go ahead."
He's getting to be too big of a boy to be held. Put him down.
But he was a little devil, too.
What are you doing in Mommy's purse?
He would take my purse and dump it upside down, and then he'd grab something out of it and run away with it. But in such a cute way, you could never get mad at him.
P, stop eating my paper. If you keep doing that, I'm gonna love Bugsy more than I love you. Oh, yes, I will.
I don't know if he thought he was a dog or human. He didn't think he was a horse. And we have them, the 2 French bulldogs, and he had no fear whatsoever. They would play ball together, chasing the ball and stuff. We would have races sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Then they'd run and see who would win the race, and Peabody, he'd run as fast as he could. But Peabody was very frail. At dinner time, the dogs, as dogs do, sitting there looking up at you, begging for a scrap. And the next thing you know, Peabody was right there too. And he would poke you with his nose and look at you and say, "Can I have a little piece of carrot there?" So they were very gentle with him and very respectful.
Okay, P, you got your shoes and your coat on. Do you want to go for a ride in the car? Well, come on then. Let's go.
He was just with us 24 hours a day. He was really part of the family. Really, I thought that he was going to live for a good 15 years, that we had plans, all these things to do. When it comes to dwarfism, they don't have a long life compared to the other horses.
What are you doing, hon?
Holding Precious P.
Look, he sure loves you, huh?
I love him.
When I phoned the vet and I said, "He's just not acting right," and he said, "Let's do a blood test." And he came back he said, "He's lucky if he's got just a few days left." And I said, "What?"
Pee-Pee could stay on Papa's lap all day long.
And my husband came home, and I had phoned him and saying, "He's not well, he's not feeling well." So when he came home, he went right to Peabody's bed and he kept trying to get up. And so the doctor told me what to do, just, put a cloth over his eyes so it's dark and just hold him. But my husband picked him up and I said, "Where are you going?" He says, "I just want to go for one last walk with him." When he walked down that driveway holding him, it was so beautiful. And then little Peabody passed away.
If you think you're living in the bedroom, you can forget it.
So it was very different, but it was so loving. It was just amazing, this little horse that inspired people around the world. And then I got a call one day, "We've been watching you and we've been watching Peabody and we need to do a book." I wrote the book. It's been accepted and it's called Peabody and Friends. So his spirit is going to live on probably for the next 20 years, I hope.